everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Anna, and in case you don't know, I talk about all things YouTube and I teach you YouTube strategies so you can set your channel up and yourself up for success. So today I am going to be talking to you a little bit of why I ended up becoming a YouTuber and leaving the news industry. I used to be a local news reporter and anchor here in Idaho, and I did that for about 3.5 years, which was a super great experience. I don't regret it at all, and I'm super glad I did do it. But today I'm going to be going more into that in case you really want to know what it's like behind the scenes of a TV news anchor. And also why I decided to transition into what I'm doing now, which is not only a YouTuber, sounds fun, right? But an internet entrepreneur. And if you are interested in that career path, or if you're thinking about changing your career path, then you might be interested in this video. So watch it all the way through to find out all those ninja secrets. All right, now at the same time today, I'm gonna be making you a recipe. Today I'm gonna be making a vegetarian lasagna bake with spaghetti squash rather than noodles. And so, no dairy, no meat. Yeah, I know, it sounds gross, but let me tell you, it's actually pretty good. So rather than the cheese filling, I'm going to be making my own filling made out of tofu! Doesn't that sound so good? So what I'm going to be doing is just chopping up this block of tofu. It is about 14 ounces. And I'm going to be putting that in a bowl, and I'm going to be squeezing 2 lemons in there with it. I'm also going to be putting some nutritional yeast in there. If you don't know what that is, let me explain to you, because I know it doesn't sound good at all, does it? Nutritional yeast is basically just an inactive yeast that kind of has a nutty, cheesy flavor, and a lot of vegans and vegetarians use it for flavoring for like your cheeses. You can actually make like almost like a Velveeta cheese type dip out of this stuff. So don't knock it till you try it, I'm telling you. And then a little bit of like garlic powder and salt and pepper and some spices. That is gonna be the cheese filling. And then we're gonna be baking our spaghetti squash here at 400 degrees for about 40 minutes. And that way we can get all those good little noodles in there and scoop them out. And then I'll be making my own sauce rather than buying a traditional pasta sauce or something like that at the grocery store. I'm gonna be adding in my own spices and my own vegetables so I know what is going in the recipe. Okay, so the spaghetti squash is in the oven. That's gonna bake for about 40 minutes. The sauce is simmering and the tofu filling is just chilling, waiting to be put in that lasagna bake. But it doesn't have any noodles or cheese or anything, but I promise you, again, it's really good. So in the meantime, while that is in the oven getting ready, I wanted to talk to you about the whole purpose of this video, what it's like to be a news reporter and an anchor, and now why I am a YouTuber. It is the most random transition, I know, trust me. So you're curious about what it was like. So let's go back. Let's go back to the very beginning. So I graduated with a degree in communication and media production from Boise State University, the best college, the most renowned college. And I actually did an internship at the news station I was eventually hired at. I just basically was like, hey, can I come take a tour? And I was hoping to get my foot in the door. And then they asked me to come back and do the internship. And then a position opened up and it was me that got it. And so I was the morning reporter for almost 2 years. And what that meant is I got to work at 3 a.m., went on location wherever I went. I was there by 4 a.m. and most every day went live from a different place. Starting at 5 a.m. until 8 a.m. we had kind of a reoccurring show going on, the morning show. You probably know local news does that, and even national news. So I was live all over the place, like wildfires, floods, snowpocalypse. My first year as a morning reporter was during snowpocalypse, and it was like the most snow we've gotten in years, and I was doing morning live shots, and snow and ice and sleet was like pummeling me in the face as I'm trying to talk and be on camera. So that was kind of like an initiation for reporting. And as well as that, there was all sorts of crime and hard things I saw, you know, murder scenes, crime scenes, crashes, house fires, a lot of hard stories, and a lot of like, you go to the scene and you kind of see the unfolding of this horrible thing. And so that is really hard to take in, and they don't prepare you for that at all. I mean, you think about it, you know it's going to happen, but they don't prepare you for what that is like emotionally or anything like that. It's kind of like being a first responder. Of course, they see a lot more than we do, but that is something that you should take into consideration if you're wanting to be in news, a reporter or an anchor or something like that. There's a lot of hard news that goes on, and that takes a toll on you emotionally, and you take on those stories. And so that affected me a lot more than I actually thought. Of course, there was the fun stories where I got to go be live, like for Christmas toy drives and grand openings, bouncy houses, like trampoline parks, all this fun stuff. Because that's fun part about it's an interesting thing of the morning show. It's like you either have hard bad news or like fun live shots. It just depended on what was going on for the day. Then I always wanted to do anchoring, and I got my big break one time when there was 2 anchors, and one was on vacation and the other one slept through their alarm. And I was supposed to go to a live shot that day. I was on my way to one actually, and they called me like, Anna, we're gonna need you to anchor the shows because we don't have any anchors and we don't know where our anchor is at. So that's what got me into anchoring, and after that I started to fill in. I was like the main fill-in for the morning. Eventually I left the morning show, and I will tell you a little bit about the schedule. Is crazy. Like I was a zombie. When I got off work at 11 a.m. I would go home and I would either pass out or just kind of like zombie around in my pajamas. I was lucky if I did go to the gym that day, but it's just an odd lifestyle because you're at home when everyone else is at work, and you're going to bed at 5 or 6 when everyone's like going out to dinner and having fun. So it's kind of a bummer missing out on those opportunities. So then I went the complete opposite, and I went 2 to 10 p.m. instead of 3 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then it was like I was part of the nightly news, which is a little more normal, but at the same time, you're hanging out in the morning, everyone's at work, and you're like, well, what do I do? So I got super into the gym because that's really all that I was able to do. So that was the last like year and a half, 2 years of my reporting career. I was a weekend reporter as well, so that was interesting because a lot of slow news days and then a lot of crazy news days. That was it in a nutshell. There's just so much more. I do not regret it at all, like I said, but I decided that I wanted more of a work-life balance, and I couldn't do the crazy schedules anymore. It was taking a toll on my sleep and my stress levels, and even though I loved that life and it was exciting and I got to meet all these great people, every day was different. Every day was a new story and a new person. It was fast-paced and never got bored at work. It was the opposite. Like, most people are looking at their clock and they're counting down to when they get to go home. I was counting backwards and saying, I only have a few minutes to get this in. Like, I have a deadline. I just wanted to have a normal schedule, like Monday through Friday, kind of, you know, daytime type thing. I wanted to be able to go to my family functions, and I wanted to be able to advance in my career and kind of have more creative freedom. And when you're in the news industry, it's really hard because a lot of people are vying for the same positions, and a lot of times those people stay in those positions, and if you love the place you live in and you don't want to move anywhere else, it's hard to advance. So here I am. I'm a YouTuber now, and my main job is marketing. I actually run an affiliate program for Income School, and so I work with all the amazing affiliates of Project 24. Okay, so I thought I'd bring it inside to talk to you about what it's like to be a YouTuber. Now, being a YouTuber is much different than being in the news. I like that I can be more myself. I can show you guys more of my personality. When I was in the news, it was very scripted. Even though I did ad-lib a lot, it wasn't like the purpose of delivering the news was showing people my personality. It wasn't about me at all. There was a very standard kind of expectation of what you should look like, the way you should deliver the news, the way you should talk, all of that stuff. And even if you did all of that stuff right, you could still get ridiculed a little bit just by people out and about. So that is something maybe that's similar in both of them. You just have to be open to the trolls and also some constructive criticism. But now I can really show you guys who I am. I am teaching YouTube and YouTube strategies and also internet marketing because I work for a company called Income School. And we have a course called Project 24 where we teach blogging and YouTubing from A to Z, 0 to 100. Literally, if you are a brand new beginner, you don't know anything, this is the course for you. Or if you do, there is more advanced levels of it, like monetizing your channel or your blog. And so these YouTube channels are strategies for just reaching new people. So yes, this is a marketing strategy for that, but it's also kind of trial by fire, learn as you go. We're experimenting and breaking new ground. We're seeing what works as far as growing a YouTube channel. They have already grown a YouTube channel successfully, but we're seeing there's other ways, and that's why I'm doing all these experiments. Like, I've been going live, and I wanted to see what that would do to my analytics, and I wanted to try doing a vlog style channel to see if it's different, and still publishing twice a week. But just like the blog avenue that they experimented with and have had all these different blogs that they've sold and were successful with, now we're kind of joining the YouTube frontier, and there are still so many opportunities. But being a YouTuber itself is actually a lot more work than it seems like across the camera when you're watching. A lot of times, hey, I think the spaghetti squash is ready. Before I did this job, I thought that being a YouTuber was just fun, like being on camera, you know, that's it. Like, it just magically appears on YouTube. But no, a lot of times you're by yourself, you have no one to help you film and no one to help you edit, and you're doing it all yourself. You're outlining, you're recording, you're editing, you're on camera, you know, you're doing your own marketing, and it is a lot of work. And if you're doing it on your own, you're doing your own taxes eventually if you are monetizing your channel. And that is something that you should probably think about And you don't see all behind the scenes type stuff. Like recording this video takes a lot longer than the actual video is that we put out there, because we have to transition to different spots. I have to cook, so I have to prep all of that, and I actually have to clean the kitchen to make it look a little bit decent for you. And yeah, we're switching up spots. We have to set up the camera and the lighting and make sure that looks great. And a lot of times you kind of have to redo things for whatever reason. Like earlier, my dog was barking, so we had to redo the scene. You don't see all those. I had the airplane going, so I had to redo another scene. So it takes a lot longer, and then it's all done, but then the work just begins. You have to edit it all and create this product that people are actually going to want to watch. And so being a YouTuber isn't glamorous, just like being a news reporter wasn't really glamorous either. From my side of it, it's a big job, but I love my job 100%, and I'm so happy to be doing it. You have to love what you're doing, or else it's gonna be like work. You want work to be like work, but you also want to love work, right? Because you spend a lot of your life there. So if you do what you love, then you're gonna work so much harder at it, and it's gonna be your passion, and it's gonna be so much more rewarding in the end. So now I have to go check out the spaghetti squash because it's been there a little bit longer than I anticipated. So let's take it back to the kitchen. So the spaghetti squash is out of the oven, and I took it upon myself to scrape out the spaghetti out of the squash, and it is already baked and cooked, but now we're gonna assemble our lasagna bake. So I have my sauce here that I had made, and then of course the star of the show, the tofu filling. Trust me, it's good. But I just wanted to wrap this up and tell you that no matter what you decide, you know, if you want to go into the news industry or if you want to go into internet entrepreneurship, then there are pros and benefits to both. But I just wanted to be transparent with you and let you know kind of the insides of both as well. Of course, you know, internet entrepreneurship, blogging, YouTubing, there's a lot of opportunity, and it's kind of endless right now. And of course, we know the internet is not going anywhere. It's only going to progress from here. So I will just tell you that. So we do have a really great course of Project 24 helps people create passive income by teaching you how to blog and create those successful online businesses. And we have hundreds of people that have stuff to show for it. And again, you get that awesome feedback within that community, and podcasts from us, and all sorts of courses that we're constantly updating. So if you'd like to find out more information, you can click the link that I have for you below. All right, so I think that about wraps it up. So if you would please like this video if you did like it, and then also subscribe to my channel and turn on that bell notification because you want to be notified when I do go live and post new videos. And now I'm just gonna assemble my lasagna bake. Man, this is a lot of work, I gotta say, but it's gonna be delicious. In case you don't know, I talk about all things YouTube and YouTube strategies, and I also mix the plane. It's a little loud. Siri, no.
Hey Siri.
Siri, no. No.